So at a certain point, I was told that the creative plans were for Skip Sheffield and I to become the tag team champions. And we started teaming together against the Hart Dynasty. And I remember we were in Hawaii. This was my first ever trip to Hawaii. This was awesome. And then we were going on to Japan after this. So not all of the Nexus traveled. It was Wade Barrett, it was Skip Sheffield, and myself. That's it. So Skip and I were having these matches with the Hart Dynasty for the championship, and we were going over. And I remember specifically, this was August 18th, and Skip and I had a match in Hawaii against the Hart Dynasty, and Skip was running the comeback. And specifically, he took a drop kick, and I remember he started to bump on it, but then he remembers, and Skip told me this in his own words, but in his mind, the agents and everybody had been on him about bumping because he's a big guy. And so he wasn't sure if he should bump on this or not. His reaction was to bump, but then they had yelled at him about it so much, he tried to not bump. And so in changing, he somehow planted his foot wrong and ended up breaking his ankle. And I had no idea because this was like the drop kick was like one of the first moves of the comeback. And Skip finished the entire comeback, ran a whole comeback, and we won and went over. And I remember being so excited because, we had just pinned the tag champs, and this was not a championship match. However, we were going to win the championship. Like, this was showing us, all right, like they're preparing us for this. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm celebrating with Skip. I go over to him, and he's still selling. He's selling his ankle or whatever. And I'm cheered, and I'm trying to pick him up. And I remember him telling me, calling me, he's like, go tell me I broke my ankle. And I was like, what? Come on, man, here, get up. I thought he was exaggerating or saying, he heard it, but not really broke it. No, he was serious. And like, he couldn't get up, he couldn't put any weight on it. And then I remember realizing, oh man, this is really bad. Like, this is really bad. Held him to the back. It legit was a terrible fracture, and he ended up having to go home. Like, that was it. He had to leave. And so, man, I felt awful for him because like this was a major injury. And then now, like, I don't know when he's going to be back, but where do we go from here? Like, what happens with these creative plans? Because Skip and I were supposed to win the tag team championships. Come on, man. How dominant of a team would that have been? Think about it. Like, and I wish I could find the video from that too, because like we were a dope tag team. Like we just fit well together. And Skip and I were good friends too. But anyway, after that, the plans had to change on the tour because we flew on from Hawaii to Japan, and Skip had to go home. So it was just Wade Barrett and I representing Nexus on these trips. So after Skip was injured and our plans obviously had to change from winning the tag team championship, the booking was just kind of more of the same with what it had been with the Nexus against John Cena with various tag team partners, beatdowns, kind of just the same thing, leading all the way into October. And the thing of it is, like, because it was more of the same, it began getting a little bit repetitive. And so, it wasn't as shocking all the time. And we were losing a little bit of the pop because we go from before SummerSlam to having one of the biggest pops ever heard to now it's being diminished a little bit because it's just so repetitive. And it kind of felt like they were spinning their wheels in trying to figure out what to do with us next, or what would be the next storyline for the Nexus that would catch on.